Welcome! This is Anton from Code and Success. In today's video, I will give you all the steps you need to become a full-stack developer without experience in less than 12 months and find a job. Let's go. Now, there's lots of nonsense going on in this world, sadly. Many people telling you can become a full-stack developer in like 3 months or 6 months. Or like the bootcamps selling you courses for thousands of dollars, which will teach you maybe something if you're lucky. But you will not be a full-stack developer. You will not be ready for a job. Why is that? Why did I pick the time frame of 12 months? Before I start. Simple, because already I have other videos on my channel about learning the front-end and back-end development, and that already takes many months, up to half a year, to really learn to be valuable enough for a company to be picked, to work with. If you don't have enough experience playing around with these technologies, then your employer has to teach you and they will not pay you for that. Agreed? So, please don't listen to these people who tell you can become it in a matter of a few months. In my opinion, absolutely not. You need at least 12 months. And I know it doesn't sound sexy, but a year goes by fast. And if you really try to do it every day and then look back on yourself, on your progress a year later, and you have found a job, and then you quickly go up the career ladder or whatever you want to do, you will be proud of yourself. You will know, aha, this was the correct way. So let's go. Step number 1. You have to learn front-end development. Now, what does front-end development actually mean? Front-end is everything that the user sees on the screen. Like if you open the Google, if you open the Facebook, it is the login form. It is the register form. It is the timeline that you see. It is the funny memes that your friends share. This is all the front end. It means all the pictures, all the structure and the layout of the website, all the colors and the design and the animations, and you click on something and something happens. You click on the button and something pops up. You click on the next page and the next page opens up. This is all the front end. All these cutie fancy buttons that you see on the screen, on the forms, and all the design and the layout. This is front end. And for that you have to learn, luckily, always the same technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML is simply the basic language of the World Wide Web, hypertext markup language. This is a simple markup language, not even a programming language, which you can learn in a matter of a few days or a few weeks. And here you can just type in some blocks, some tags, and they will define the structure, the skeleton of your website. Very quick and easy to use, and the internet is programmed in the way that it always only works with HTML sites. And these sites then are designed by CSS, cascading style sheets. Also not a programming language, but this is a bit harder to learn. Here you can say that this button has this fancy color, that the button has a width of 100 pixels and the height of 200 pixels, that the button has to be at the bottom right corner of the container that you have on the screen. And here you can place all the elements in the right order, in the right places, and make them very beautiful. This is simply what CSS means. And now to make also some logic, to put also a little bit of intelligence into your website, you use JavaScript, also the standard implemented script language, programming language of the internet. And here you can say that if you click this button, then a box will pop up with the following text: alert, close the website. Or you can make even a little mini game. You can program the Super Mario, the tic-tac-toe, whatever. For that, everything you need for the logic, that you click this button, then the cross will be there. You click the other button, then there will be a circle. This logic, these sequences are all programmed with JavaScript. Now you have to learn these things. You can learn them all for free on the YouTube. You can also learn it from a book or from the Udemy course. All these options are wonderful. I even recommend just get a normal YouTube video on that. It will be good. And once you have learned those things, you're still not a front-end developer, because these things already exist for 30 years and the world has progressed in the meantime. Now the real sexy things are frameworks. That means we have like Vue.js, Angular or React, and these are basically just wrappers around JavaScript which make your code more readable, which make your code more secure, and it will make your code way more powerful. In the end, of course, it's all still decompiled into JavaScript, but they are just modern approaches approaches of programming, and they're just way more fun than typing in some lame HTML and JavaScript, because no one really does that anymore. And I recommend you learning Angular. This is technology developed by Google, used by Google, so you have good security here. React, by the way, is backed by Facebook, by Meta, so they use this one, but Angular, in my opinion, is way more beautiful, way more powerful and more logical, and you should use that instead. And for that, you can also learn it from the YouTube, but here I recommend getting a good book or learning it from a good Udemy video course. Spend 3 or 4 months learning those technologies, and then you'll be good for the next step. Step number 2, learn backend. Now, backend is all the logic that you don't see, which happens on the server. For example, you want to log in into Facebook, into your account. You type into your front-end form, "Hello, my name is Michael Jackson, and this is my password." And now you click on the button login, and this information gets sent to the server. And the server is connected with a database, and there the server can read the entries from the database. I got this information from the Mr. Michael Jackson with this password, and now let's find out if he has a Facebook account. Yes, he has a Facebook account, then send an OK, and now he can log into his account, something like that. On the front end, usually you only do some light logic to make the website not so heavy, and all the complex logic simply happens on the back end. All the complex workflows that you have maybe in your company, all the database connections, all the APIs like that your front end can use to talk to your back end, to talk to the heavy head of information. This is all the backend. And here we have also reliable languages which have been around for decades. These are Java, C#, and Node.js. The first 2 technologies, Java and C#, have been around for decades. They are reliable and in heavy use today by big companies. They are very good and safe to learn. You will not be wrong learning any of them. Is the third one. Node.js is also kind of new, but it's very convenient since you can use also JavaScript or TypeScript here in the backend as well as in the front end, because usually you use different languages for front end and different languages for backend. So any of these 3 are fine. I recommend Java. This is the go-to language for backend development. And here you simply also have to learn from the YouTube, from the Udemy, or from a book about the typical parts of a programming language. They're usually all the same, and the languages are not that different after all. They all have their nuances, their own unique approaches of doing something, but overall things like variables, if, else, which case, for each loops, when, for loops, objects and classes, all these things are kinda normal around these programming languages, so it doesn't really matter. But still, I would suggest learn Java, learn API development, learn databases and SQL. SQL is the only language there is to talk with databases, so you have to learn it, and you will be fine. For more information, I have a video here about the backend development and also about the frontend development. But these are the steps. Also, just here, spend 3 to 4 months learning those things. All this information is available for free on the YouTube. You don't have to pay anything to learn frontend or backend development. Isn't that wonderful? Now, 6, 7 or 8 months passed, and now I want you to spend the next months to really get this knowledge together and just start building projects for yourself. Start building silly games, tic-tac-toe games. Start replicating websites like the Google website, like the Facebook website. Just simple aspects of it. Try to recreate the form, the register form, the login form. Then it's ready. Then this is the front end. And now you want to make it logical. Make a backend where you also receive the information, where you check your users and you try to make them log in or register or send an email through your backend. All these things. Just Google for more fun ideas like the best beginner backend projects. The best beginner front-end projects. Just find some ideas to work with, some cool websites. Just maybe think of your own personal website. You can also do that. And only practice will make you good in programming. Like 95% of all success in programming is only through doing. You can read as much as you like. This will not make you a good programmer. This is a good addition for theory, but to become good, you have to write good code and solve problems. And here spend 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, until you just feel comfortable enough, until you can just say, I have done this, I have done that, I have done this. And now you can get to the last step, step number 3. Build a portfolio and apply and get a job. And now this simply means you have hopefully now created 3 or 4 cool projects. Your code is not too messy, it's alright. Now simply what you do is go to GitLab or go to GitHub. There, upload your code with Git. It is simple, just watch a YouTube video on that. It really takes only a few hours to get the basics, which is all you need for the beginning. Upload your projects and now make a nice CV. Show off what you have done. Put in your project ideas, like your own personal website, maybe a cool game that you have made, just the descriptions of them, and also put your GitLab or GitHub profile where the people can see your code. Write a nice CV where you also highlight your soft skills, that you're a quick learner, that you endure learning and that you continuously want to learn and things like that. And simply just apply to people, just apply to companies. If they don't like you, just visit them in person and make a good impression. Wear a suit or something, be presentable and show off what you have done. Talk to the boss, talk to people, and I really believe that in this way you will find a good job if you just keep doing it. Now, this is all I have to say. If you have any suggestions or questions or comments, please let me know. Thanks, goodbye.